Let me take you back to the year 300 AD. By this point, Jesus was gone and the original church boys were dead. Christianity was a small but budding movement in the East, but it wasn't called that. Let's say they were Neo-Judaists at that point. However, it was still a taboo religion because it wasn't mainstream. What you have to understand is that back in the day, and even in places in our day, people have to worship the state god as part of their citizenship, and worship of another god is considered treason. In the year 300, the emperor of Rome was Constantine, and he was at war. Who was the war with? Why were they fighting? Doesn't matter. The important thing is, his troops were outnumbered, and the fate of Rome was at stake. As the story goes, on the eve of battle, Constantine had a dream where he was instructed to paint crosses on his troops' shields. He was not a super religious guy, but that dream really affected him, so Constantine did what he was told. The next morning, when his sparse number of soldiers went up against a vast enemy, Constantine was victorious. He took this as a great sign and pledged to find out what that cross symbol meant. After a bit of searching, he discovered that the crosses were the symbol of the Neo-Judaists. He talked with them and learned of their oppression under his own rule and the rule of all other previous emperors. So, in a kind of repayment, Constantine sat down with his boys and drew up a paper called the Edict of Milan, which legalized Christianity. The Neo-Judaists started calling themselves Christians. Good news, right? The Christians get free of their oppression, right? Well, the Christians stopped getting oppressed, but now the pendulum starts to swing the other way, as it always seems to across history. The paper was meant to stop religious persecution in general, but prioritized the Christian religion. It wasn't long before the Christian god became the state god, which meant the Jews and the pagans and the Greeks all had to subscribe to that new mentality. As we all very well know, the Christian Church became a powerful organization under Roman rule. It stands to this day under the banner of Catholicism. And the thing about the early Catholic Church was the way they liked to spread the message of Christianity. First of all, sermons were made in Latin, which was the official language of Rome, but the less educated in the land had no idea what was being said. All they understood were the fancy windows and adorned decorations that spoke of power and wealth within the organization, and they believed that that wealth belonged to God, and if God can procure such wealth, surely they could too if they but worshipped him. The second thing the Catholics did very well was the acceptance of donations. There were certain levels of Christianity at that time, and the way one leveled up was by increasing the size of their weekly donations. The more a person donated, the better the heavenly abode would be. But all that is after Constantine died. He was just the first one to put a brick in the Catholic wall and pave the way for that organization to exist. Ironically, Constantine himself was not a baptized Christian until he was on his deathbed. Strange he would have waited until the last moment. Maybe he was trying to save his soul.